Well, how you doing, members of yours and truly yours, right back here on Hot Jams 98.9. And of course, y'all know how the Kenny Show do it, y'all. We got a one-on-one exclusive interview with a young man by the name of CJ. And of course, you all know 10 years ago, the Leicester Street Massacre that took place on Leicester Street. And right now, I'm sitting here with CJ. CJ, what's going on?
What's going on?
You know, CJ, I really don't know where to start it because it's been over 10 long years ago. So do you go by the name of CJ still, or you? Okay, so you go by the name of CJ. So 10 years ago, the massacre took place, and you're the oldest, right?
Yes, sir.
How many brothers and sisters do you have?
Got 4 brothers and 4 sisters.
Okay, so none of them survived except you.
2 of my brothers ain't survived, and that was it. He just took 2 brothers, mom and dad, and 2 more other adults.
So let me ask you this: 10 years ago, do you really remember what happened that night?
Yes, I do.
Tell me a little bit about what happened that night.
So they got into it. They was arguing or whatever.
All of you already at the house?
Yeah, all of us at the house. It's supposed to be like a little family get together.
A family gathering.
Yeah. And then so they was talking. They was cool at one point, and then later on that night, it's around like 12 o'clock. She started getting rowdy and crowdy or whatever. But yeah, so
were your uncle there when the event first, when y'all first started partying or whatever? Were he there in the house at first?
Yes.
Okay, so they started drinking and having fun. And where were the kids at? Where were you all at?
We was all in my sister's room watching TV or whatever not. And then next thing you know, I heard about like a couple gunshots. I thought they was outside. When I walked in trying to go to the bathroom, I saw my uncle shooting my daddy in the face and in the chest.
Whoa.
He was trying to kill him. My daddy was still living while he was shooting him. He was begging for his last breath. You know?
Okay.
So I saw my daddy, and I saw this dude in the middle of the floor with a bullet hole through his head. And then, cause I guess that was his biggest threat right there.
Was the guy that he shot? I'm guessing he shot the guy first.
Yeah, he shot him in the head first. He took him out as soon as he came through the door. And then he took out 2 more females. He took out a female. He was shooting her. She was begging for her life.
And this was just a young lady who was just there. Because I know they said the other young lady, she wasn't even kin to you all or anything like that. So after he did that, did you go back in the room or?
Well, I tried to get the phone, call 911, but he came in the room. When I went towards the room, I was in the room first. Then that's when he came in there, looking at me with this evil ass look. And then I had told him, because he had a pocket knife, and I was scared right there and then.
So he had a pocket knife in his hand?
Yeah, like a switchblade knife. And he sliced me across the throat. So I was holding my throat, blood was dripping. I had to, keep my hand up so I don't want to lose that much blood. And then when I was going towards the hallway, he had came in the hallway. I was grabbing the phone. I dropped the phone. I had dialed 911. It was ringing. But then, I dropped the phone.
Oh, so at that point.
He stuck me. So when I went in the bathroom, boom, he stuck me with a butcher knife. It was about this long. And then they went through the skulls. Great. Had the handle on one end and the pointed tip on the other end.
Oh, my God. So he was really meaning to kill you as well.
And he tried to hit me in my chest, but, I blocked it out. So that's the only reason why he went through the skull.
So that night, you didn't know that he had attacked your other brothers and sisters or anything. So you was probably one of the first ones he attacked. Yeah. And I'm guessing maybe because you was older. You was the oldest one.
Pretty much. And he know that I was going to be the one to be able to tell everything. So he wanted to take out.
He wanted to take, because you were the oldest. Right.
And then take out everybody else. That way he won't have so he can get out on bond. But if it wasn't nobody, basically what I'm saying is, if we wasn't alive to this day, he would be out in these streets right now and getting away with a lot of shit.
But because you saw him with your own eyes, it made a difference. Yeah. How old were you then?
I was 9 years old at the time.
So you was 9 years old. You was able to pinpoint and see everything. So, and how old are you now?
19.
19 years old. So over 10 years ago. So when you got, because I'm guessing, I know they took you all to the hospital. When you woke up that day or that moment, at that point, did you gain conscious? Did you remember everything that happened?
I remember everything from the beginning to the end. Everybody asks me this story over and over and over, and I just give them how it is. It's on YouTube, but if you look it up on YouTube, it's just a little small little footage. But they got the whole trial on YouTube.
On YouTube, right.
Yeah. And then somebody had put it on Facebook.
Okay.
And shared it. And a lot of people started sharing it. And then after that, folks started coming to me asking me questions. How this happen? Why this happen? Why he
Ask you so many questions. Yeah. So, CJ, do you think that your uncle attacked you and your brothers and sisters because you all was, I guess, basically woke or what?
He said this was his words were. As you watch the first 48, his words were, they saw me. Then he said, he told the Lieutenant Armstrong, they saw me, and I stuck him. And he was like, where you get the knives from? He said, at the kitchen, in the dresser.
They also were saying that he stayed in that house after he did what he did.
He went in that house.
He left.
Then they was talking about he was up under the bed. He wasn't up under no bed. Why they still have him? He was the one doing all the killing.
He played like he didn't know who did it. He even was in protective custody at one point.
Because he knew he was out on parole. Well, on papers.
Mm-hmm.
For like 60 days to see how he do at doing them 60 days. He was out. He just came. The day he came.
Because he had just gotten out of jail.
Yeah, he just came out of prison somewhere out of state. And then when he got here, they showed him around the house. He got a picture and a glimpse of everything around the house.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't no breaking out and it wasn't no getting in or out because he got bars on every window.
And he knew that.
And he knew that.
Let me ask you this. I'm going to kind of back up a little bit. What kind of relationship, when he got out of jail, what kind of relationship did him and your father have before this happened?
Well, to be honest, my dad didn't really like his big brother.
Okay.
And they was always into it. Ever since he got back out of jail, they started getting into it. They was happy at one point, but then the next point they got off track. My daddy started going off on them, then started making threats. They both started making threats towards each other. And then the next thing you know, boom, 3 days later, they weren't making no communications. But then after that, we had a family get together, and that's when all this happened.
Right back here on Hot Jams 98.9. We're sitting here with one of the survivors of the Leicester Street mass murder that took place over 10 years ago. And I'm sitting here with CJ just for you all who are just not tuning in. This interview is so touching to me because I never thought I would have ran into this young man. So, and those who are just tuning in, you all can always go back and listen to this interview. But we're going to continue this interview right now. So, let me ask you this. In the hospital, did anybody come and see you? Like, who you remember seeing when you?
Well, I remember seeing my grandma, my auntie. They didn't let everybody in because,
it was a lot going on.
Yeah, it was a lot going on, and then they didn't want everybody to see us. So they really had security guards by the doors and shit, stuff like that.
So y'all was secured. How long were you all secured? Because after it happened, nobody heard from you all.
We was in the hospital for about a year.
Man. A whole year. Did you want to get out and play with your friends and see your friends and
Kinda and all. Because at the same time, when I woke up in that hospital, I thought it was all a dream, but it turned out it wasn't a dream. That shit was real.
It was real. So you all goes to court, and of course you had to, and I know that's a hard pill to swallow going before your uncle and testifying against him. Tell me what happened in court that day.
Well, in court, it was really, they were trying to make him confess.
Mm-hmm.
And make him, like, when we came up there, he thought we was dead. He thought he wiped out the whole house. And when he took the stand, he was like my dad.
Because they didn't tell him that there were some survivors. No. He thought that everybody was dead. Yeah. So I guess when he saw you, what was your reaction when you first saw him in that courtroom?
I was scared of him. I didn't even want to be around him at that point.
What would you describe him as if you could use one word? A monster.
A devil, really.
A devil. So do you think that he's sorry for what he did?
Nope. Because a lot of people, one dude who was in jail with him, they had told me that he planned this shit the whole time. He planned to wipe out the whole entire family.
So do you think he was going to harm your grandmother and his sister as well?
Yep. If he would have got away with this murder, he probably would have went out and wiped them too. Cause he was making calls and stuff to their old apartment in the Goodwill line of Village. Goodwill Village.
Looking for them. I know at one point he was looking for, which is your aunt, his sister, and she was down at the police station, and he was looking for her. Let me ask you this, CJ. Do you think that your grandmother forgive him?
Nope. She said she can't forgive him for what he done. She still can't forgive him to this day.
I know they had to be in a hard pill to swallow. Were you allowed to go to your brothers and sisters' funeral?
No, I was in the hospital during the funeral.
So you didn't get a chance to make it to see them. Have you visited their grave site since?
Yeah, I visit them on and off. Like on Mother's Day, I go to the graveyard and talk to my mom. Other than that, like I don't know exactly where my dad and my other brother buried at, but I know my mama and my brother on my mama's side buried in the cemetery.
Do you miss your mom?
Yup, a whole lot.
Do you remember the last conversation you and her had?
Yup. She was like, when you get older, she told me once I get older, just keep my head up and keep pushing towards what I want. Like, let me put it like this. She told me when I get older, always remember that God gonna help me, whatever problems I got. And as long as I believe in God and keep my head up, I'ma always be successful and succeed in life.
And you have done it. I mean, I know my heart still go out to you and into your family, because we're going to continue to keep you all in prayer, because I know that was just certainly a hard pill to swallow. Certainly you haven't been back to that house, have you?
I've been there, what day was that? That was last year. I went to go see the house.
What made you go to that house?
To see what it looked like. And then it's some people who stay there, and I was like, how can y'all stay here at the
Did you knock on the door? Did you?
I knocked on the door, they opened the door. They were like, wow.
So did they know who you was?
Yeah, I told them I used to stay here back in 08. And they was like, wow, you the child? I was like, yeah, that's me.
Did you go inside the house, or you just stayed on the outside?
I didn't want to go inside the house.
Because I guess the memories are so...
Yeah, and then they all died in there. One room, as soon as you walk through the door, that room right there when you walk through the door.
So do you know if your grandmother still having contact with him, or y'all just kind of cut Cecil off, or?
We cut Jesse off.
Yeah, Jesse, I'm sorry. Your dad was Cecil, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so Jesse does. So you all have no contact with him, none whatsoever?
My grandma got her number changed so he couldn't call, because she got fed up with it, and she changed her number. She scared of him. And so is my auntie and everybody else.
So you all describe him as a monster.
Damn.
Man, wow. CJ, we're going to continue to pray for you, but it's hard for me to ask you, what would you say to those out there who, you're a survivor? You know, and for you to be a survivor, I guess the next question is, where do you go from here? Do you plan on writing a book, or, you know, what are you doing nowadays? What are your plans?
To be honest, I plan on writing a book and then making a movie after I make the book. Because in order for people to understand what really happened and that really went on in the house, I got to be able to write the book.
Okay.
Then I'm going to make a movie after I make the book. I know it's going to take some time, but hey.
It got to be done.
It got to be done.
It has to be done. So you're 18 years old now. 19 years old. I'm sorry. That's right. Correct me, CJ. It's all right. Well, I certainly thank you for doing this interview with me, Kenny Lee, on Hot Gems 8.9. And we're going to post this interview so people can hear it and actually hear your story. But when you write your book, and we're going to keep up with you, CJ, so we can know what's going on with you. And certainly when you write that book, we want to be the first one to debut. Let the people know to see the book and go out and get the book, you know. And, you know, this is going to do it for this interview. But again, CJ, keep your head up, and if it's anything I can do, the Kenny Show, Hot Gems 8.9, we can do, let us know. Any last words?
Well, I just want to say, I want to thank everybody who been there for me, even though it was hard. And then, like, as life goes on, I gotta keep my head up, stay strong. But other than that, hey.
Do you still think about it a lot?
Well, Yeah, when people bring it up, yeah.
But other than you try to stay away from, because I saw your interview you did on Channel 3 that day, and what was it, last year you did an interview on Channel 3?
Last year.
Yeah, so that interview went, did you like that interview or you?
It was straight. There was a lot of questions, but it was straight.
So have you done any radio interviews at all?
Nope.
So Hot Jams, we got the first radio interview with CJ. Oh man, see that's what I'm talking about. We try to get the exclusive. Thank you for giving us that first radio interview. So anybody asks you, you can let them know I talked to Kenny Lee. That's what I'm talking about. Well, y'all, that's going to do it for this interview, y'all. Do not forget to log on to Facebook and type in Hot Jams 98.9 and hear this interview and its entirety. CJ, survivor, 10 years ago, Lester Street mass murderer. All right, y'all, I'm out of here, y'all. Don't forget, y'all, we got those chances, y'all. Win those tickets coming up later on. And I'm out of here, y'all. Peace. As I always tell y'all, if you want it told, if it has to be told, if it must be told, I'm Kenny Lee, and I'm the man to do it.